fast-paced race. In fact, right now, I'm making $200,000 for every house that I buy, but it's a race. Who can buy the most homes? Today, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna help you understand the race, and I'm gonna show you how to win.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
So I'm out here in Vegas right now, just chilling and hanging with some of my favorite buddies. You know, we flew out on a private jet this morning to Vegas to go experience Battlefield Vegas so we could flamethrowers and shoot tanks and weapons. But before we go home and before we enjoy a really nice dinner at the Wynn, we're actually stopped here at Speed Vegas, where we're gonna throw down 7 laps and see who can drive their car the fastest. Now, they've got all sorts of merch here that they're selling, but today, check this out. My friend gave me this for my birthday, and I think that this kitty is gonna give me what I need to win. Dude, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's crazy. When I look at the last 18 years that I've spent in the game of real estate, something that's been a little frustrating for me is that I'll go and buy all these homes, and then when I sell them, I make all this money, and I think to myself, Kris, why didn't I buy more? Like, go back 2008, global financial crisis. Everyone is terrified of real estate. The market bottoms out. But I go into Phoenix, I go into Vegas, other markets around the country, Florida, and I'm buying homes that we're selling for $300,000, $400,000. I'm buying them for 100 grand. And you know what? I knew that I was gonna make a killing on it, but I had never been through that market cycle before. So guess what happened? 5 years later, sold a bunch of homes, couple thousand, helped my investors clear over $100 million. We are in an economy just like that right now. It's even more juicy, it has even more profits being padded, and yet, I don't want to miss out on it. So today's video is me helping you understand from my mistakes to make sure that you don't miss out, because if you're a subscriber on my channel, you've been watching my, my content thinking someday I want to get in real estate, you are gonna regret it if you don't start buying homes right now. But it is a race, and you gotta know how to win. That is sexy on a stick, but you know, people are always watching my content online, and you don't really know how tall I am. I'm 6'3", 235 pounds. Today I'm wondering if I'm even gonna fit in the vehicle, but I'm hoping that I will. You know why? Because I like to win.
That's cool though, man.
Hey, thank you so much. I really love the experience. I think I got him. I think I got him. We're gonna see. So I gotta tell you, I like racing fast cars. By the way, did you like the kitty shirt that I was racing in? This probably would have been a little bit more of an appropriate shirt. So let's talk about this race and why it's not going away. Right now, there are 4 specific reasons why the real estate market is in such turmoil. And I gotta tell you, I've never had to compete so hard in my entire life to get deals. Like I said, making $200,000 on a home, you can imagine there's a lot of competitors. There's people like, Kris, are you telling me if I buy 10 homes, I'm gonna make $2 million? Well, reality is with compound interest, you could certainly make a lot more than that. And that's just the beginning of a portfolio. Like literally, if you even just got your hands on one house, what could that turn into? Well, it's a race and it's game on, and you won't believe how fierce the competition is, but with what I'm about to teach you, there's a way for you to play and win. So check it out. I want to help you win in the game of real estate because there's $200,000 on the line for every house that you buy. But first you got to understand the 4 reasons that make this real estate market such a race. Reason number 1, it's called supply and demand. There is very little supply of existing homes. In other words, tons of people, millions, want to buy homes and there's not enough homes. And the principle scarcity of anything says that when there's not enough and people want it, they're gonna bid it up, and that's why those prices are going up.
Up, and away, Webb!
Kris, why is there such a low supply of homes right now? Well, number 2, there's not enough new construction that's going on to pick up the slack. In other words, if we could have 10 times more builders out there, and if we had more building materials and people that were in the game of construction, we might have a shot of keeping up a little bit, But the truth is, we don't got that going on right now. So the forecast is not looking promising for the next 5, 6, 7 years. At the rate that we're going, it might take a decade to fulfill on the millions of homes that don't exist yet. This is not totally a bad thing, and I want you to understand why. Real estate is so predictable compared to the stock market. It moves so incredibly slow. Think about it for a moment. We can't just dial up a knob that says, okay, contractors, go and build a whole lot more homes. It's a lengthy process. They have to go buy land. That land has to be developed. You have to work with the cities, go through all their regulation processes. It can sometimes take 1, 2, or 3 years to prepare a piece of land just to even be able to build homes on it, which means that it's going to take years to fix this problem. The good news and the silver lining is that it becomes way more predictable, and it buys you and I time to get rich. It buys us time to do deals. It buys us time to organize resources. It means that you don't have to figure it all out in the next 90 days. However, I will show you at the end of the video how you should be buying a home in the next 90 days, but then you have time to grow and multiply that into a decent portfolio that can create real financial freedom for you. And number 3, let's talk about how demographic trends are driving more demand. First of all, are you aware that the millennial generation of 62 million Americans is a prime time for household formation? Unlike Generation X, which numbers 55 million, millennials are a larger age cohort. Or in other words, there's just a lot more people in this generation, and guess what? It's time for them to start buying real estate so they can settle down, lay down some roots, and say, I own a home. Let me give you an example of a specific demographic that is going to start weighing super heavily on the demand for real estate. The current housing boom is also accompanied by an explosion of Hispanic homebuyers. That group alone is expected to emerge as a major force in home buying in the coming years. In other words, as you track demographics, who's moving into this country, who's settled into this country, what's expanding, right now that is a specific demographic that is all into home ownership. I mean, before the pandemic, do you understand that millennials were not going to buy homes? We were going to see a reduction from 70% home ownership in this country to 59% over the course of a decade. The pandemic has reversed that trend because now millennials want to own a home. Think about it. The pandemic has reversed this trend for millennials. Whereas they were like, yo, I want to be flexible and I want to like move and home ownership's not really my thing. All of a sudden it's like, wait a second, I don't have to work in an office anymore. Maybe I do want a home. Maybe I want a home that I can also work out of. It's got to be a little bit larger. It's got to be a little bit different because it's also going to be, you know, my home where I live. And all of a sudden, home ownership just got really popular all over again. Popular. And then finally, what is contributing most to this real estate race? Number 4, mortgage rates, they remain at these record lows. As in, last time I checked on a 30-year mortgage, we were talking less than 3.2%, or on a 15-year mortgage, literally under 2.5%. That's what I call free money. Like that money is so cheap to borrow, everyone should be buying a home, especially with the appreciation that is already happening and is also on the horizon. But if you think it's gonna stay this way forever, you're crazy. The government, the only reason why they're keeping rates this low, I think part of it is an apology. It's like, yep, we know we kind of screwed you over during the pandemic, so we got to try to make life as easy on you as possible. Also, we're printing money like crazy. So what are we going to do? We're going to stimulate the economy by encouraging people to buy as much house as possible. It's not going to last forever though. Why? Because we don't need to artificially stimulate the economy. People want houses. We don't need the government saying, yo, extra low rates to make it even easier for you. If anything, they might be actually catering to the problem, creating more demand than we can possibly supply. So what exactly is it that makes real estate a race? Anyone who's buying it right now is going to benefit for the next 7 to 10 years. And there will be those that will wait. And then the prices will go up and then they'll wait. And then with every passing year, they're going to wish that they had gotten in the game. But the pie is going to shrink and get smaller and smaller and smaller. You don't have any time to lose. There is a link below where I will give you a free game plan. Get with a member of my team and let me show you in your situation how you can buy real estate right now. I mean, take it from me. Remember, I started poor. I started in debt. I started with no resources, and I got in the game, and 4.5 years later, I was financially free. And that's because I had a coach, I had a mentor, and I had a game plan. And that game plan is so important for you to see options that you may not see right now. So wherever you're at financially, whether you're sitting on $1 million, whether you've got a 401k, an IRA, maybe you've got equity sitting in a property, or maybe you're literally starting from scratch. If that's you, get a game plan with someone that knows how to help you make millions of dollars. There's a link below. Click it, get your free game plan now. Now, there was a lot of talk in today's video about demographics because they're really important. Millennials are a demographic, and did you know that they are statistically disadvantaged, and they are going to be one of our poorest generations that we've ever had in the history of the United States? It doesn't have to be that way, but if you're kind of curious about some insider information on why most millennials are screwed and why you don't have to be, click and watch this video and let me show you how to escape this terror. Guess what's going to happen if there's not a lot of them? People are going to swarm and they're going to freaking throw money down to get that house. That analogy made 0 sense whatsoever. Jeez. I was going with it. I'm like, finish the take, finish the take. I'm like, it's getting worse. Let me try it again. Let's start with the first side again. All right, ready?